Dear children, in this session of functions in Python, you will be learning about scope of variables. What is meant by scope of a variable? Scope of a variable refers to accessibility of a variable. Accessibility means when you define a variable, how far that variable can be used in that program. Suppose you have a program with a user-defined function and you have defined a variable outside the function. So here the variable is defined outside the function. So how far that variable can be used in this program? That is meant by accessibility of that variable. So this variable which is defined outside the function can be accessed within the function, anywhere within that function. So that variable can be accessed inside the function, as well as that variable can be accessed outside the function. So now we can say that a variable defined outside the function can be accessed inside and outside the function. A variable defined outside the function can be accessed inside as well as outside the function, which means a variable which is defined outside the function can be accessed anywhere in the program, inside the function, outside the function, or in any part of the program. This type of scope of variable is called as global scope. So the variable which is defined outside the function has global scope, and that variable is called as a global variable. Now suppose you have a program with a user-defined function, and this time you are defining a variable inside the function. So here the variable is defined inside the function. So how far that variable is accessible? So this variable can be accessed only within the function, only inside the function. You cannot access this variable outside the function. So you can see that the scope of this variable is only within the function block. So this type of scope can be defined as a variable that is defined inside the function can be accessed only inside the function. Look at the definition again. A variable defined inside the function can be accessed only inside the function, which means that variable cannot be accessed outside the function. This type of scope of variable is called as local scope. So the variable which is defined inside the function has local scope, and that variable is called as a local variable. Hence, there are two types of scopes in Python: local scope and global scope. So here, the scope of the variable is determined by looking at where that variable is defined, whether that variable is defined outside the function or inside the function. If the variable is defined outside the function, that variable has global scope. And if that variable is defined inside the function, it has local scope. Let me now show you an example for local scope. I will define a function add, def add, without any parameters, colon, and within the function, I will take a variable c and assign the value 10 to it. C is equal to 10. So in this statement, the variable c is defined. So defining a variable means creating a variable and assigning some value to it. That is the meaning of defining a variable. Okay, now C is defined here, and in the next step, I'm going to print the value of the variable C. So let me give a string C is equal to, just for identification, and then the variable, comma, then the variable C. Okay, now in this print statement, the variable C is being accessed. Variable C is accessed. So in the first step, C is equal to 10. I have defined the variable C, and in the second step, I am accessing the variable C. Okay, the next step, it's an assignment statement. C is equal to C plus 5. So in this, in the right hand side of this assignment statement, the expression C plus 5, in that expression, I am once again accessing the variable C. This variable C is accessed. And on the left hand side of this assignment statement, the variable C is modified, because in the right hand side that arithmetic is taking place 10 plus 5, and the new value 15 is stored in the variable C. So here the variable C is modified. Okay, next let me once again print the value of C, just to see the modified value. Okay, now I have defined my add function. The function definition is over. Now I come out of the function, and now I have to give the function call. So I will write add, and since the add function does not have any parameters, so in the function call I am not giving any arguments. So this is how you call this add function. So let us see the output of this program. So it has printed C is equal to 10 and C is equal to 15. That is the two print statements inside the function definition have been executed. Okay. Now, what is happening here? Look at the definition of local scope. A variable defined inside the function can be accessed only inside the function. So here, in the first step, C is equal to 10, variable C is defined. So here the variable C is defined inside the function. Means that variable has local scope. C has local scope. Okay, and in the remaining statements, the variable C is accessed, also modified. So you can access or modify the variable within the function. That is the meaning of local scope. So suppose out of the function, outside the function, so after the function call, if I access that same variable C by giving print C, so here the variable C is accessed outside the function. So let us see what will happen. I will run the program once again. Now you can see that Python has thrown an error. What is the error? Name error. Name C is not defined. So from this error, it is clear that a variable which is defined inside the function cannot be accessed outside the function. So look at the definition once again. A variable defined inside the function can be accessed only inside the function. So it is clear that you cannot access the variable outside the function. So if you try to access the variable outside the function, Python will throw error. So this step, print C, is not possible. So this is how a local variable or a local scope works. I hope you understood about local scope. Now I will show you the rules for local scope. The first rule is a variable with local scope can be accessed only within the function where it is defined. The second rule, when a variable is defined inside the function, the variable becomes local to it. Third rule, a local variable only exists while the function is executing. Fourth rule, the formal parameters are also local to the function. So when you look at the first three rules, it is nothing but a different interpretation of the definition of local scope. What is the definition of local scope? A variable defined inside the function can be accessed only inside the function. So look at the first rule. A variable with local scope can be accessed only within the function, is inside the function where it is defined. The second rule, when a variable is defined inside the function, the variable becomes local to it, which means a variable which is defined inside the function is a local variable. Third rule, a local variable only exists while the function is executing. So, when you define a variable inside the function, that variable is accessible only inside the function, which means that variable exists only when the function is executing. So it is not accessible outside the function. So that variable will not be available to you outside the function. So only when the function is executing, that variable will be available to you. That is the meaning of the third rule. Fourth rule, the formal parameters are also local to the function. So in this, what is the meaning of formal parameters? So look at this function definition. Def add a comma b. Here a comma b are the parameters. They are nothing but the formal parameters. So long I have been mentioning them as parameters. They can also be called as formal parameters. And within the function, the variable c is a local variable. Now in this function, there are actually three variables, totally three variables, a, b and c. A and b are the formal parameters and c is the local variable. So what they are saying in the fourth rule is, formal parameters are also local to the function. Therefore, according to this rule, a and b, the formal parameters a and b, also have local scope. They are also considered to be local variables. That is the meaning of the fourth rule. Next, I will explain about global scope. I have taken the same example that I took for local scope. So here, I'm going to remove this step c is equal to 10. So in this step, variable c is defined inside the function. So I'll remove that step and I will place that step outside the function. C is equal to 10 is now outside the function, which means a variable c is defined outside the function. That is, the variable c has global scope. C has global scope. Because look at the definition of global scope. A variable defined outside the function can be accessed inside and outside the function. So here that variable c is now defined outside the function. So c has global scope and c is called as a global variable. That variable is called as a global variable. Let me remove these two steps for the time being. C is equal to c plus 5 and print c. Okay. So according to the definition, I can access that variable, global variable, inside as well as outside the function. So here in this step, print C inside the function, I am accessing the variable inside the function, and this print C, which is outside the function, after the function call, here I am accessing the variable outside the function. So I am accessing that global variable inside as well as outside the function. So check the output of this program. C is equal to 10. That is because of the print statement which is inside the function. And 10 is printed because of the print statement which is outside the function. Okay, this is how global scope works. Okay, suppose I use these two statements now. C is equal to C plus 5 and print C. Now in this step, C is equal to C plus 5, I am trying to modify the global variable inside the function. The global variable is actually defined outside the function, but in this statement, C is equal to C plus 5, I am trying to modify the global variable inside the function. So let us check whether this modification is possible. So I'll run the program. You can see that Python has thrown an error, unbound local error, local variable C referenced before assignment. So from this error, it is clear that Python is not allowing us to modify a global variable inside the function. So this step is not possible. Okay. So let me once again keep this two steps as comment statements. Now, will Python allow me to modify this variable, global variable, outside the function? It's not allowing me to modify inside the function. Will it allow me to modify outside the function? So let us try this. So here, suppose I increment C is equal to C plus 7. Okay, I'm modifying the value of C by incrementing it by 7. Okay, let us check this out. So here there is no error. C is equal to 10. It is because of the print statement which is inside the function. And 17 is because of the print statement outside the function. So before printing C outside the function, here it has incremented C by 7. So you get the output as 17. Okay, now suppose the programmer wants to modify that global variable inside the function. That is, he wants to modify the value of C inside the function. So he wants this step to take place. So we know that it throws error. So check again, it will throw error. So it means Python is not allowing you to modify the value of C inside the function, but it is possible. This can happen, this can take place, this modification can take place by using the global keyword. So here, if I add this statement here, global C, so by using the global keyword, I can make a global variable to be allowed to be modified inside the function. So let us check this one again. You can see that there is no error now. C is equal to 10. It is because of the first print statement inside the function. And C is equal to 15 is because of that increment. C is equal to C plus 5. So the value of C is now 15. And 22 is because, so here you can see inside the function already C, the value of C is 15. So outside the function, C is equal to C plus 7. Here 15 plus 7 on the right hand side. So it is 22. So the value of C is 22. That is why you are getting the last output as 22. So what are the points about global scope? So according to the definition of global scope, a variable defined outside the function can be accessed inside as well as outside the function. Okay. And can we modify that the global variable inside the function? Actually, you cannot modify the global variable inside the function. But you can do so by using this statement global C. That is, by using the global keyword, one can modify the global variable inside the function. So this is about global scope. Now I will show you the rules for global keyword. The first rule, when we define a variable outside a function, it is global by default. You don't have to use global keyword. Use of global keyword outside a function has no effect. Use global keyword to modify a global variable inside the function. So take a look at this example. Here C is equal to 10. In that statement, the variable C is a global variable because the variable is defined outside the function. So it is global by default. That is what they are saying in the first rule. You don't have to use global keyword. So suppose you use the global keyword outside the function. If I write global C. So according to the second rule, use of global keyword outside a function has no effect. So if you give that statement global C or you don't give, it does not make any difference. It has no effect. Okay, what is the third rule? Use global keyword to modify a global variable inside the function. So this is very true. Already I have discussed in the Python IDLE about global scope. So if you want to modify a variable inside the function, so here the global variable is C. So if you want to modify C inside the function, you have to use the global keyword. So look at the body of the function. So here I want to increment C by 5. C is equal to C plus 5. Then I have to mention the global keyword, global C, before modifying the global variable. So if you want to modify a global variable, you have to definitely use the global keyword inside the function. So that is the third rule for global keyword. Look at this example. Here I have used the same name A for the global variable as well as the local variable. So in the step A is equal to 10, A is a global variable. And within the display function, A is equal to 20. Here, A is a local variable. Within the function, I am modifying the value of the local variable A. A is equal to A plus 5. Whether this modification will affect the value of the global variable, that is what we have to see now. So I will run this program. So look at the output. Global A is 10. Local A is 25 because 20 plus 5. The value of local variable is 20 and A is equal to A plus 5. Because of that, local variable A has become 25. And again, global A is 10, the last print statement. So from the output, it is clear that if you modify the local variable, it does not affect the global variable. This will happen this way only when you are giving same name to the global variable as well as local variable. If the names are going to be different, there is not going to be any confusion. Here, since global variable and local variable are having the same name, you should understand that the local variable is different from the global variable. They both are different. They are having different memory locations. So if you make any modifications to the local variable like the A is equal to A plus 5, if you make any modification to the local variable, it will not affect the global variable. So a is equal to 10. That is the initial value of the global variable a. It will remain to be 10 even outside here also, outside the function also. The variable a is having the value 10. So only within the function, the variable a is having 20. Here it is local. This a is local to that function. So if you modify, that modification is happening only within the function, and that modification is not affecting the global variable. Okay, this is one aspect of scope of variables in Python. Next, we are going to see what is meant by composition in functions. Composition in functions means nesting of functions. That is, when one function is embedded within another function, or one function calls another function. That is meaning of composition in functions or nesting of functions. We have used nested functions in several occasions in our previous examples. Look at the statement. A is equal to int input, enter a number. So in this statement, in the right hand side, you can see that there are two functions. The input function is within the int function. So in this step itself, composition in functions or nesting of functions is taking place. We can also have another example. Suppose b is equal to eval. So eval, that is a function called eval. You can use within eval, you can use the input function, and you can get the input of any expression which you need to evaluate. Enter an expression. Suppose I give like this, enter an expression as the prompt string. So let me run this and show to you. Before that, here I will print the value of b. Okay, so you see here, first I have to input a value for a. So suppose I give 10 for the value of a. Enter an expression. So I want to evaluate a into 2 plus 5. A into 2 plus 5. So you know, input function accepts the input as a string, and this expression is now taken as a string, and it is going to be evaluated by the eval function. So here you get the answer as 25. The value of b is now 25 because a is 10. 10 into 2, 20 plus 5, 25. Okay, so this is an example for composition in functions. So what is composition in functions? When you use one function within another function, that is the value returned by one function is used as an argument for the another function or the outer function. That is called as composition in functions. In this session, I have discussed scope of variables and composition in functions. Thank you, children, for watching.